Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We are going to be talking about HOMEWORX Valencia Orange. Now, this is not a new fragrance to the HOMEWORX lineup. In fact, it's been around for a couple of years. I believe that this candle that I am burning right here in front of me is probably the fourth time that I have purchased this fragrance. So, a little bit of a spoiler alert about how I feel about it. But I realized looking through my review catalog that I have never shared my thoughts on this one. So I thought that it would be probably a good video to put out for you guys since HOMEWORX does seem to bring this candle back year after year. So let's go ahead and talk about it. This is one of their standard 4-wick 18-ounce vessels. We've got the beautiful photographic wraparound label there. Although now that I'm looking at it, this one looks a little bit cattywampus, doesn't it? It looks like it a little bit slanted right there, but I mean, that's really nitpicking. And honestly, I didn't even notice it until I was looking at it through the old camera here. Let's go ahead and talk about the fragrance notes on this candle. We have the notes listed on the bottom of the candle as being Valencia orange, sugared lemon, glazed vanilla bean, and sweet amber. This specific candle that I am reviewing today has a pour date of October 24th, 2024. Now, if you go on the Slatkin & Co website, if you click on this candle, if you drop down the description box, you will oftentimes, and this is not just with this candle, but with all of their candles, get top, middle, and bottom notes or accords listed. So I did want to share what the website says they are. On the website, the top notes are listed as Valencia orange slices, sugared lemon, mid notes of pink cake batter accord, glazed vanilla bean, and a base note of spun sugar, sweet amber, and musk. So if you've been keeping up with any of my candle chats, I have talked about how this is one of my favorite spring and summer fragrances. This candle to me is very much a nice, juicy, sugared orange type of fragrance. Now, a couple of years ago, HOMEWORX did have a fragrance called Orange Creamsicle. And if you were familiar with that fragrance, this candle to me smells very much like the orange popsicle note that you would find in an orange creamsicle. Now, what separates it a little bit is that I don't really get, I might get a little bit of vanilla in here. There is just a touch of gourmand in this, even though the candle is not marketed really as a gourmand fragrance. I would say that it is still like 90% fruity goodness, but there's a sweetness to this that is probably that glazed vanilla bean. And even now they're saying like pink cake batter accord. I'm like, okay, I don't really get cake, but there is something in here that there is a tiny bit of like a vanilla in there to kind of, I would say, um, tone down maybe like the pungency that citrus can bring, that orange can bring with it. This is not an orange cleaner scent. This to me, like I said, it just very much reminds me of the orange popsicle portion of an orange creamsicle. So again, not that creamy center, but the orange part around it. That's what I detect in this fragrance. Now, there are base notes of like sweet amber and musk. I do think that those are there to kind of lend a slight element of perfuminess to this, maybe to get it to throw or project a little bit more. And yes, I would say that that's in here, but overall, you guys, I really, really like this orange fragrance. I would say that this is my favorite orange fragrance from HOMEWORX, much like I have said that Kringle Candle, they have their Reserve orange fragrance. Now, if you're asking me what the differences are between those two, I have said that the Reserve orange fragrance from Kringle reminds me much more of like orange juice. Like you poured yourself a glass of orange juice, and that's what I smell. It's not, it's missing, I guess what I would say in this candle would probably be that perfuminess a little bit, that sugared, what are they calling it? The sweet amber and the musk. I do detect, if I put these side by side, I do smell a little bit of like an amber note in this one. But again, it's not, I don't want you guys to hear that and then to be swayed off to be like, oh, it smells super perfumey, because it doesn't. This one, it's one of those fragrances where I think that amber and that musk just lends this to being slightly more um, fruity perfume. Like this to me reminds me in a little bit, in a little way, in a what am I trying to say here? This reminds me of, I sampled a perfume during the Sephora sale. This candle kind of reminds me, honestly, of the Seven Virtues Clementine Dream. If you like that fragrance, then sniff this one, because I feel like this fragrance is very similar to that. Now, I did say that fragrance I returned because it didn't work with my body chemistry. But if you like fragrances like Clementine Dream, then I think that you will enjoy this candle for sure. Let's go ahead and talk about the performance of this one. So you can see, if I lift up the old camera here, I'm getting pretty close to the bottom on this one. You can see a little bit of wick residue in the wax pool there. It is not altering the fragrance. I really haven't had to trim the wicks at all on this candle. The burn has been very good all the way down. You see a nice clean burn there, no excess sooting. This candle I have actually had lit going on almost 6 hours now. I know that's way beyond the recommended burn time, but you can see it's still burning very cleanly for me. Strength and throw on this candle is also very good. This one is around an 8, I would say, in terms of strength and throw. It definitely fills up my open concept living room where there are some high vaulted ceilings in there. If you're new to my channel, I do always list in my dedicated reviews. If you click down into the description box, I do have listed the square footage of my home, age, environmental factors. Those are all things that you're going to want to take into account anytime you're listening to a candle review, because the one reviewer's home settings may be similar to yours, or they might be vastly different, which would, then indicate that you might have some different experiences with a candle. So I always encourage you to familiarize yourself with that if you are new to my channel. But in terms of, for me, an 8 means that I can smell it very well throughout the open concept, that I can smell it in the living room, I can smell it in the kitchen. It's not projecting and throwing all the way into the bedrooms if I'm over there. But for me personally, an 8 is usually my sweet spot with candles, because I do oftentimes burn complementary fragrances in the bedrooms. And so I don't always want things to clash. I like to be able to smell fragrance as I move from room to room. And this one is definitely detectable. I do also like pairing this with a variety of other citrus fragrances in my collection, whether that would be lemon-based fragrances. I actually really like burning this with some lime scents that I have. This burns really nicely with Yankee Candle's Vanilla Lime, and I should be, I think, at any point now. I'm pre-filming this a couple of days ahead, but I am anticipating my delivery of my HOMEWORX key lime cake. I think that that'll be a great combination. So yeah, just a very versatile orange fragrance. So let me know in the comment box down below if you have purchased this candle, what your experience has been. Did you ever have the orange creamsicle candle? And would you say that this is probably a cousin to the orange creamsicle, if not a sister, to be honest with you? I think that it could be a sister fragrance to it. Very, very similar scents. So this candle is currently available on the Slatkin & Co. website. I do have an affiliate code with them. It is Katie's Joyful Life. It should save you 15% on orders over $40 over on the website. This candle, by the way, was not sent in PR. Like I said, this is, I think, the 4th time that I have purchased this candle. So I did purchase this with my own money. I just really enjoy this fragrance. And again, if there is ever a fragrance that has been sent to me in PR that I am reviewing, you will always see that little paid promotion label come up in the upper left-hand corner, as well as I will verbally acknowledge that a candle was sent to me in PR at the very beginning of a video. So always just like to put that out there for you guys, because I know some people are very particular about that, and I think it's always good to be very transparent. So again, please hit thumbs up if you found this review helpful. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do want to say thank you so very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.